Well, good morning and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. We are going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together putting on our makeup and learning a new Bible verse. Speaking of that, our foundation verse for this podcast, let me get over there, is going to be Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. I encourage you go back and read that in context. Psalm 119 is pretty awesome. All right, so we are doing all of our verses are going to be from the Word in Color coloring book. You can see that QR code and link on your screen right there. This is going to be kind of like a pictorial display of all the verses that you have learned so far. And we only have 4 verses left. Well, 4 counting today's. So almost done. And I am so excited to show you what season 2 is going to have. It is going to be exciting. So just wait to hear more about that. All right, so our verse that we worked on last week was Ecclesiastes 3:1, and that was for everything there is a season. So I said that wrong, kind of. For everything there is a season, Ecclesiastes 3:1. Okay, so for this week, we're going to be working on my cup overflows with blessings, and that comes from Psalm 23:5. So love the verse this week. Let me show you the graphic for this week that you're going to be working on. So this one's a little more intricate than some we have worked on, but that's what we're going to be doing this week. So make sure that you get the color. Shoot me a picture of your coloring sheet when you get it done. I'd love to see how you colored yours. It's amazing how you can take that same picture and we can all have different interpretations on what that is going to look like. So very exciting. And I just realized that I did not name our theme for today. So let me get over here. We're going to get that verse scrolling across the bottom of our screen there. There you go. And I am going to call this coloring look, it's turquoise and orange. So let's call it like terracotta delight. No, turquoise delight. Let me get the orange in there, but we get the blue in there. Okay, anyways, so we're going to be playing with orange and turquoise today. So with just a little smidge of some neutrals, just to kind of tone it down just a smidge. So we're going to be starting with our Urban Decay All-Nighter Primer. And this, one pump of this is literally, well, if I can squeeze one pump, there we go. One pump of that is literally going to do your whole face for you. So we're going to take that one pump, and we're going to work that between the tips of our fingers. You're going to start out in the center and just work it out. This is going to help to minimize pore, any texture in the skin, really. So it could be fine lines, wrinkles, could be any imperfections from maybe acne scarring. If you use it around the edge of your lips, it's also going to help your lipsticks to stay in place better. And today we are going to be using a liner and a cream lipstick, so you definitely want to do that. I know, and if you can't see it, I burnt myself with a curling iron the other day. Gotta love that. Some people just shouldn't be trusted with hot tools. All right, and now we're going to move on to our concealer. I am using the IT Cosmetics. This is the Bye Bye Under Eye, and I am the shade 11 Light Nude. So with this, you are going to use just a little ribbon of this. Okay, it didn't quite come out very neatly, but we're just going to use a little ribbon of that. This is going to do the entire face of what you need. Now, if you have more imperfections, maybe you might need a little more, but give or take, this is about what you need. So we're going to start out with under the eye, and then we're going to work it here and down the nose. Now, for you, it may be a little bit different depending on what it is that you want to conceal. Any acne things going on, just dab it on there as well. So this I'm using to conceal the darkness under my eye, and then I have redness in my skin kind of naturally. It's not too bad, but it is there. So we're going to use it in here in the corner of the eye, under the eye, and then we're going to blend it down to the top of the cheek too. And kind of in a sense, this is going to sort of be a little bit of a highlighter, but that's not really its function. I'm just trying to even out the red. So if you have any darkness or anything you got going on, redness, darkness, acne scarring, any kind of hyperpigmentation, this will help with that. And I am going to be using a beauty blender. This is the beauty blender. I love this one. This one's called, Once Upon a Blend. And so they did this as a holiday edition, and it comes with this super cute little stand that you can put it on. So I know it doesn't really have any effect on the, way that the Beauty Blender performs, but these you do want to get damp. And we're just going to blend that out. And I like to use the pointy end for around the eye area. And we're just going to blend that concealer out using it like a eye primer there. There, and you can see that this has definitely helped to even out that redness. All right, now, today I'm going to be trying a new foundation. So for today, I'm going to try the It Cosmetics. This is the Buyback Foundation in the oil-free matte full coverage moisturizer 50 plus SPF. So this is typically it comes in a tube. I'm using kind of a sample of this, so a little bit different. I would take the tube, put it onto the back of your hand, and then we're going to dab it around and then blend it out. So we're just going to give you a couple dabs. Oh, my shade is so sorry. Actually, I'm so sorry. I can hear your chat dinging over there, and I didn't turn it on. All right. Yeah, just a couple of little dabs. You'll get a feel for, to me, the more dabs that you get around, the less blending you have to do. So we're just going to kind of dab it around all over the place. That's going to kind of partially blend it out for us. And then we'll come back with that Beauty Blender. All right. Oh, I know I started to say my shade. Don't remember if I did or not. So my shade in this is going to be Fair Light. This does darken up just a little bit as it dries. So make sure you come in and get a shade match so we can take a look at what it looks like when it dries down just a little bit, because it is going to dry down just a smidge darker. And I do have that combo oily skin, which I know we've talked about, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to try this. It's not like this is a new foundation. I just haven't tried it before. Well, it looks like it's setting nicely. Blends out nice. It's a little, it is called a moisturizer, but it's a little moisturizer-y feeling. It does blend out smooth though. I'm just going to get that underneath that neckline there, just making sure that that blends out nicely. Don't want any gathering around the eyebrows. I know, no eyebrow comments. They're so small. How could anything gather? Well, I do like the way that went down. So now that we've got that, let's set that. I am still going to be using the Lancome Long Time No Shine. This looks like this right here. And this does come with a puff in it. So you're going to take the puff out. Then we're going to tip it upside down, give it a couple taps. That will let it come through that little sifter. Oh, I'm getting a little carried away. That'll let it come through that sifter thing so that we can then use the powder puff to use that around the face. So I'm going to start out under the eye. And every place we put that concealer and foundation, we're just going to cover that and set that with the powder. And you're just kind of tamping that powder in. We don't want to disturb or move the foundation. We're just trying to set it. Now I do kind of a light, sort of a gentle over here. And looks like I need just a little more of a tap so I can do my forehead. There we go. Sometimes when you get down to the bottom of this one, it's a little more, oh, that was fun. It's a little more difficult to get the powder out. So it takes a couple more taps. Oh my goodness. And the answer is yes. I'm wearing the powder now. This is why I don't wear my clothes. I mean, I have clothes on, but I don't wear my actual outfit when I'm putting my makeup on. That way, you just don't have to worry about it. Okay, so let's move on to our contouring. For my low light bronzer, what I'm going to be using is going to be the NARS. This is a Laguna 2. Technically, this is in the bronzer category, but it's kind of a cool bronzer. So I use this for contouring. So we're going to be using this brush here, which is a dual-ended foundation brush from It Cosmetics. This end here we're going to use for the bronzer. This end here we're going to use for the highlighter. So I'm going to start out with the flat side first. Just give it a couple swipes in there. And right above where the hollow of your cheek is, we're just going to make that hollow a little more accentuated. And then we're going to go up the side of the temple. Same thing on the other side. Still using the flat side, we're just going to go right up along that hairline there, give a little depth up here. And now we're going to switch to the flat side. So with the flat side, we're going to go under that jawline. Keep your face kind of at a neutral so you can make sure you're actually hitting that spot. There we go. And then on the other side. Now, still using that edge, we're going to go beside the nose and give our nose a little of the shape we want. All right, so that takes care of our lows. Now let's work on our highs. So I am going to be using the MAC. This is the Double Gleam Extra Dimension Skin Finish. Things I like about this one. Has a little bit of a shine to it. Not really sparkly, but a little bit of a shine and definitely illuminating. So it comes in, there's a few different colors. So, come in, try it out, see which one you like the best. And we're just going to hit the high part of the cheek and then right beside the brow bone here. So this is going to give your cheeks a more full appearance right here. You're going to pull it out here, but then it's going to recess it here. So that'll help the shape of your face. And then we're going to take that and just go down the center of the face, making sure we hit that Cupid's bow. Okay, now using a traditional blush brush. Whoop, whoop. This, I believe, is a MAC brush. Today I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is a blushed volume 4. Actually, let me change my mind on that. We do have a little bit of, let's keep with this. We're going to use the lighter shade, though. We're going to use this one here. I was debating between the volume 4 and I think the other one's volume 3. It's the one that's got the oranges on it. I think that might make it a little bit too orange for today. So we're going to keep with this volume 4, but we're going to use this one right here. And so you're just going to do a couple of taps. We're going to go between that bronzer and that highlighter right here. And then between them up the temple. This one's a little more of a pale color, so you can be a little more aggressive with the swiping in it, but these are pretty pigmented, so just be a little gentle. And then we're going to swipe it a little right along that hairline, bring it down just a smidge, hit the nose and the chin. And you don't really need to add any extra for that. Just kind of touch it to it. It'll be fine. Okay, now we are successfully contoured. So let's say that new verse together. Our new verse is, "My cup overflows with blessings," and that comes from Psalm 23:5. So now we're going to take a look at our lips here. And so for today, we're going to do kind of an ombre look. We are going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the Luxe Lip Liner in the shade Coffee Bean, I believe. Yep, Coffee Bean. Just a beautiful, nice chocolate kind of color. And then we're going to come back in with MAC. This is the Amplified Lip Cream, I believe it's called, and this is Saint Germain. A little bit, kind of a tad bit sheer, so it'll give us a nice ombre. So we're going to start out with that lip liner. You're going to twist it out just a smidge. We're going to work in the Cupid's bow first. And then we'll round out from that to the corner. All right, now we're going to start in the center on the bottom. Writing right along that lip line. There you go. Now that we've got a nice good lip shape going on, we're going to go just to the inside of that with just a little bit lighter of a pressure. All right. Now, if you want a little more of a gradual ombre, take your middle finger and drag it right along the inside. And that will soften that out just a little bit. Now we're going to take our Saint Germain and using that point to our advantage, we're going to start out in the Cupid's bow. And just work our way around. So you can see it gives us just kind of a nice gentle ombre, not anything too harsh, but it's kind of bring and tone down that color just a smidge, give us a little bit of that kind of creamy coffee-ish color for what we're getting ready to do to our eyes. Okay, now comes the fun. So I'm using two different palettes today. So to start out with, we're going to use the Nudes, and we're going to be using this color right here. And then we are going to switch over to Allure 3. And we are going to be using this color here and this color here. So kind of a retro blue kind of thing going on. So starting out with the Nudes by Juvia's. Going to be in this one right here. Actually, for today, I'm going to change it up just a bit. Let's use this one here because I feel that's got a little more of that kind of oranginess to it. It is a matte, but, you know, we'll all survive. All right, so we're going to get the top of that brow bone right there. The kind of the large, fleshy part of your eyebrow or eyelid area. If you have hooded eyes like I do, you got a little more territory to play with. If you do not have hooded eyes, then that's okay. You got a little less space, but still cover it. All right. And we're going to get just a little bit of that right here on the inside. And actually, because I like the shimmer, I'm going to dip just a little bit into this one so we can get some shimmer on the inside of this. There you go. Going about halfway on that. And then we're just going to use whatever's left on the brush to kind of blend it out to that upper part. Same thing on the other side. There we go. I think I didn't come quite as far over on this one. All right. So that was with an all over shadow brush. Now we are going to switch to an angled brush. And we're going to be using the edge of the angle brush. And we are going to move to the Allure 3 palette. And we're going to be living in this beautiful blue right here. So we're going to start out with just that flat edge. Get your brush loaded a little bit. This is a new palette, so it's taking a second. And we're going to ride on this bone right here. Now, I wasn't actually touching my lid yet, but this is where we're going to be. We're going to be right here. Oh, that is such a beautiful color. And then we're going to come down and go on the bottom about halfway, on the outside edge about a third. So again, about a third of the way in the center there. And then all the way on the lower, well, half the way on the lower. Now, again, if you have hooded eyes like me, you want to make sure that you just open your eyes in a natural position and make sure that that blue is up above where your fold of your eyelid is. So for me, I'm going to have to bring that up just a little bit. Still using the flat edge of your brush, just kind of blend that out. We want to see that blue peeking above the opening of the eye. Okay, and this is a very light color today. If you have darker skin, this color is just going to be spectacular. No matter what your skin color is, this will be beautiful. It'll just have different kind of depth and dimension. All right. Now, if you have your blending brush, just kind of any fallout that you have, just dust that off. And now we are going to switch to our accent color. So I am actually going to be using an eyeliner brush. And we're going to be a little, well, let's actually start out with our smudger. So with the smudger, we're just going to use a tip. Now we're going to be working in this color right here. We're going to take that smudger tip and you're just going to swirl it a little bit in that beautiful orange. And we're going to work it in right here. And we're just going to come down right beside that blue there. And you decide on the level of orange that you want. And just blend that out until it is the color that you want. Now I think I'm actually going to start out with the liner tool, and I'm going to go in the blue. And I'm going to deepen the blue here. Here you go. See how that did? Just by using a different brush, you can increase the intensity. And now I'm going to wipe that off. And now I'm going to use that same brush in the orange. And increase the intensity here. And you're just kind of dragging it straight line out to the outside edge. Nothing super fancy. Oh, or you could do that and have to come back in And fix that. All right, any fallout again, you can dust that off. Now I think we're gonna kind of leave that like that for right now. We're gonna do a little bit of the eyeliner and then come back with that orange again. So I am going to be using, this is the NYX, what is this? Oh, actually it's not on. Okay, so this is the NYX retractable eyeliner in the shade of black. Have to change my show notes on that one. So we're going to go from the outside edge. We're going to go about halfway here. We're going to go outside edge about halfway there. And we just want a little bit of a thin line. Yes, good morning to you too. Nice to have you join us. Yes, most of the time I do use a magnifying mirror to do this, but I'm being a little lazy today. So you just want to ride right along your eyelid there. We don't want to, have a super dark line with this particular one. We're just looking to frame out the lid. And then, yes, we will come back in with that liquid liner as soon as we get the orange put on. Okay, so now that we got a feel for that, we are going to go back to that eyeliner brush and go back into the orange. We're going to line right below that black line that we just put in there. And we're going to go all the way to the inside corner. I like to do in kind of 3 swatches. So you got the outside corner, the inside corner, and then I use the swatch to join the middle. Okay, now you can see it's kind of accentuated the orange that you have on your lid now. So you determine how much more orange you want, the intensity that you want. Okay, I'm going to dust that off. Just going to come back in with that blue, make sure we've got a nice line here. That blue does have some beautiful shimmer on it. Gonna get the outside corner here. All right, let's wipe that away. Now we're going to grab our Too Faced. This is the Better Than Sex Liquid Eyeliner. I always store this upside down so that the tip is always fresh. We're going to work from the outside edge to the inside edge with just a nice thin line. Gotta love it when these smart technology devices see your hand even though you're not touching it. All right, just a nice thin line there. Now, whatever your brow product of choice is, you'll be using that here. Because I have fashion colored hair, I am going to be using the NYX Jumbo Eye Crown eyeliner thing in the color Cupcake. And these are just a nice chunky pencil. So you do whatever your brow product is. If you need any help with your shape or, finding a brow product that you love and a color that you love, come in and see our arch experts, and we will certainly get you fixed up and get your brows shaped correctly. All right, so working with our brow product now, we are just going to fill in our brows. Some people do their brows beforehand. That is correct. I think it's, whatever works for you, whatever is easiest for you, whatever makes you most comfortable, you do that. I like doing it after because then nothing can mess it up. I think, going to all that work and getting everything exactly the way you want it, and then having your eyeshadow muck it up somehow, then you have to do double duty work. So I like to do it afterwards. Okay, we're going to come in on this side just a little. Okay, I see a little something. There we go. A little goop of something. All right. So for today, let's go ahead and do our lashes, and then we'll say our Bible verse. So I had a mishap with my Tarte lash curler, which I dearly loved. So, and by mishap, I mean, I don't know, jumped out of my bag and I can't find it. So I have switched to a Tweezerman lash curler, and let me tell you, I have loved it. I like how it shapes your lashes when you squeeze in here. I like that it comes with 4 of the rubber replacements, so you get more replacement with it. I like that it has a nice kind of rubberized grip so it doesn't bite into your fingers. I don't know. I guess it all depends on how hard you squeeze your lashes. I think it does a nice job of curling and not, pulling and tugging and pinching your eyelid. So you do you, but we're going to start out by curling our lashes. Now, today I got a couple things to do, so I'm not going to be wearing lashes. So we're going to go from the Tweezerman to our Monsieur Big waterproof. So let's start here. So go ahead and get the verse. Let me see. It is scrolling across your screen. There we go. So get your lash curler ready. Find that sweet spot. We don't want to pinch our lid. So if you feel like it's pinching your lid, release it. So we're going to say our verse together twice. You ready? Okay. Woo, that was a little pinchy. Here we go. My cup overflows with blessings. Psalm 23:5. My cup overflows with blessings. Psalm 23:5. And we're going to let that go. Go to the other side. Find your sweet spot. Here we go. Here we go. My cup overflows with blessings. Psalm 23:5. My cup overflows with blessings. Psalm 23:5. And now you can release that. Grab your Monsieur Big or whatever mascara it is that you're using. And we are going to give some mascara here. So I am going to start out with 2 coats on the top, one on each side first. And it looks like I might need a new one of these because we're getting not quite so creamy. Yes, in a perfect world, you're going to replace your mascara, I would say 30 to 45 days. One is for bacterial reasons, and the other one is because it's just not going to perform as well. Brow pencil name. You're talking about the pink one that I used? Okay, so this is actually you can use it for an eyeliner, an eyeshadow, highlighter. This is the jumbo crayon from NYX. And so they've done another set as well that are, okay. They've done another set as well that's specifically for highlighting. That one, this one needs to be sharpened. The new one that's just the highlighter doesn't need to be sharpened. But one bad thing about it is it's very soft. So you have to be a little careful when you're putting it on because of too much pressure and it goes everywhere. So you want to know how I know that? So they do have a really nice one that's called some raspberry muffin, blueberry muffin, something like that. It's almost the same pink color as this cupcake, just a little more color to it. So great question. All right, so now we're gonna go to the other side. First coat on this side. And while we're brushing this out, you're using the tip a little bit, you're using the side. Just making sure we're keeping those lashes separated so we don't end up with clumping. So now that we finished our first coat, we're going to go back, do the second one. I have just always been a 3-coater. Maybe it's my lashes. I don't know. It has worked for me, so we're just going to keep it up. You're also going to come back behind the tips so that you get that mascara all the way to the tips of those lashes. So stroke the forward, then come through the back just a smidge. Now, there was a trend, I think it was in the 80s, and then it kind of crept its way back in late 90s, where you made these like balls on the end of your lashes. We're not trying to do that. If that trend comes back, then we can do that. But for right now, we're not going to do that. And you can see the lashes are just about ready. Now, I want you to notice something here. I was talking and I got a little carried away. And right up here, you can see there's a little dot of mascara. Don't freak out if that happens to you. Take your eyeshadow brush that you used to put that on and just kind of swipe over it before it has a chance to dry down too much, and it'll just disappear. Now we're going to move to the bottom lashes. Some people don't like to do their bottom lashes. I do. I feel it just kind of completes the look. You got lashes down there, so you might as well mascara them. So bottom lashes, just get one. And on this part here, I am using a magnifying mirror. Even before I had seen close-up things, I just always used it. It made it easier to be able to see exactly what you were doing. You do you, though. If you don't need one, don't like one, just don't worry about it. There you go. We're going to move to the other side. Okay, I want to show you. I'm just full of mistakes this morning. You're just going to love this. Okay, so you can see on my cheek here that I tapped my cheek. This right here, I call the magic bullet. This little brush here, it has a little bit of powder in it that's just kind of residue from what I've done before. If you'll take that little bullet and just rub that off right there, that mascara swatch will be gone. So I love that, hence the name Magic Bullet. So now we're going to do our third and final coat on our upper lashes. If you were putting on false lashes right now, you would really only just do one coat and one coat because your false lashes are really going to be what the notice is, not your lashes. Because today we're not doing false lashes, this is why we're doing the 3 coats on the top one. Just going to give them a little bit of volume and noticeability over the shadow that we're doing today. And even if you're not using the same colors or the same palette that I'm using, you could use the same color placement. So the blue would be your darker color, your color with more intensity. And then kind of close to it in intensity would be where we place the orange, but you could really do this with any kind of color scheme. You would just use the same placement. You could even add on the inside edge, if you've got a nice white glitter sparkle, you could add a little bit of that on the inside just to give a little more, nighttime feel to it as well. I know it's not it's not as out there look as usual, but you know what? Sometimes you got to throttle it back. All right. So now we have got our mascara on for today. So what are we missing? The last thing that we have to do is, now that we've got everything on here, we want to make sure that this look lasts us all day, right? Because you don't want to go to all this work and then in 15 minutes it looks like crap. I mean, looks like a mess. So we are going to use our Urban Decay All-Nighter Spray. This is the D-Slick. They have several different kinds depending on the look, the final look that you want to achieve. Thing I like about this one, I have that combo oily skin. It's going to help to control that oil. It's going to set it. Your makeup's not going to shift around and move. It makes it transfer resistant. So it just does a lot of great things. So they also have their original, which is great for dry to normal skin. They have their vitamin C. So if you need a little brightening and illumination. Then they also have their glow. So if you like a dewy finish, maybe you don't get enough dewy look from your foundation and the different setting powders and things that you're using. So you can always add that in at the end as well. They don't have one right now that has SPF in it, which is why I choose to have the SPF in my foundation. But there are other brands like Kula that has a setting spray that has that SPF in there. So we are going to take that D-Slick, tip our head back just a little bit. There we go. Let that dry down just for a second. There you go. And now your makeup is complete for today. You are off and ready to go, aside from fixing your hair, because I know I got this little thing right here, bouncing around all day during this. So thanks so much for hanging out with me this morning. It has been a joy seeing with you and spinning and chatting and answering questions. And I look forward to chatting with you throughout the week, whether it be online or you are coming to see me at my store in Midlothian in person. Any way that you want to do it, happy to talk with you. So we are going to do a little bit of a review on our verses. And so try to do the verses, see if you can say them as they are going along. I know some of them are a little bit long and it's a little bit hard, but let's see how you do. Okay, you ready? Set, go. right. So how did you do? I know there's a couple of those that are just so difficult to squeeze in that little tiny bit of time. So when you're watching this back, you can pause that video so you can get those verses in there. So just a reminder that all of our verses are coming from, season 1, all our verses are coming from the Word in Color coloring book. We only have like 4 episodes left, so your coloring book should be just about finished. If you're just now catching on with us, do not worry about it. Just pick up where you are. Don't even worry about all the rest of that. Okay, so you can find a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus on your favorite podcast platform, including Apple Podcasts, Podbean, our YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, you get it. All right, so let me give a blessing to you. Love scripture and song. So anytime you find a verse that's got some music to it or make some music to it, it will help you remember it. So here is this verse for you. The Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his face toward you and give you peace. Oh, Heavenly Father, how much I thank you for today, for each one of the people that have come and spent time here with me. I pray that whether they're watching it now or they're watching it later on as a recording, Father, that you would just bless them, that they would take these scriptures, that they would hide this word, your word, in their heart, Father. And that we might use this later on as encouragement to ourselves, to encouragement to others, and that your word would just be a living, breathing thing within us. Father, I just thank you so much for our time together today. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well, it has been a wonderful time with you today. I hope that you have a beautiful day and God bless you. Mwah! I look forward to seeing you at a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com.